So to know the actual secret, what actually the relaxation is, we have to know the secret. And for revealing that secret, we have with us our eminent speakers. So I welcome our respected speakers of the day who will reveal the secret. I would like to welcome Yogacharya Gyanadeva sir and Yogacharya Deepika ma'am, who are the founder of Yoga Satsang Ashram, Wales, UK. And without taking much of the time, they are the most senior mentors of Gitananda Yoga tradition. So without saying much of the words, I would like to call upon Yogacharya Gyanadeva sir and Yogacharya Deepika ma'am to take upon the further session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. It's great for us and really nice of you all to join us today.
Yeah, it is a pleasure and the honor to be here. And thanks to Dr. Nanda and all his blessings and the guidance to create this another sort of lifetime event, really, to share these teachings. And I don't know, I still feel like I'm just a little baby in Gitananda tradition. So thanks for saying that. But I still like to feel I'm just a beginner, really. Then I kind of find it a bit, keep myself down to the earth.
Yeah, we try to stay humble because it's so much. It just feels impossible to learn everything in Gitananda Yoga because it's just like a universe and a galaxy and another galaxy. Yeah.
Well, with our Guru's blessing, let's begin. Really, I guess there's this amazing subject or the topic in yoga therapy and even in yoga world itself, talking about the relaxation, this concept of nispanda or the healing parasympathetic response. I have to really begin. Let me just bring my slides up. I guess to begin with, what I really like to say is this whole lesson that we prepared and we talking on, I would offer my sincere gratitude and my really humble respect to Ammaji. And the reason I'm saying that, because in my own understanding, before I came to Ananda Ashram and I took the shelter under Ammaji's guidance, relaxation for me back then used to be you just lie on your yoga mat and you do some sort of visualization or the savasana practice. And coming to Gitananda Yoga, I really explored or realized that what we do on yoga mat is very little of what we need to learn to really understand this pure concept or the pure idea of a deep relaxation. And I really love this new term, in last couple of lessons, our Guru Dr. Nanda has used this Swasthya and then the Sukha Sthanam. So, more I explore these ideas of Gitananda Yoga and the relaxation techniques, it is really sort of finding our way to come back to the Sukha Sthanam, where we can be at ease, we can be at comfortable place, and we can be one with ourselves. And I believe once you start to think like that, then, just a little bit of physical relaxation on your yoga mat is a very little of exploring these truly amazing sort of Gitananda Yoga teachings. And most of the lesson we both have prepared to really give you all a little bit glimpse of these amazing teachings and these amazing ideas and the wisdom that we have explored or we sort of understood under Ammaji's guidance. So I would say this is a very drop of all those amazing satsangs with Ammaji of all these years that we have been under her blessing.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add, one of the things that Ammaji really made me realize is that how deeply unaware we are. And it's like, well, most of us don't know our own thoughts, what we're doing, what we're thinking, what we're saying, where we're walking, anything really. If you think like scientists record around about 70,000 thought impulses in a 24-hour period. And we think, how many of those 70,000 thoughts are we aware of? Like usually, I don't know, a handful. And that's kind of how much work we need to do to try to create and expand that awareness so that we can start to move into relaxation. And coming to the ashram, it's like you realize how much stressed you can be just living in like a, you know, regular normal life. We just hold so much stress, and going into ashram and doing all these practices of yoga and the deep relaxation really kind of brings us that awareness, and we start to slowly release all the tension. So again, thank you, Ammaji.
Okay, let's dive in. So also our really thanks and gratitude to Dr. Nanda, because he is really our kind of like a mentor and then the guide, you know, sharing all these amazing teachings and giving us this guidance, you know, for over this year, really running the yoga therapy course. And I have to admit, you know, deep from my heart that it's like a new explosion in my own sadhana and understanding of these such a simple, such a profound and the subtle concepts or the ideas of the yoga itself. And yeah, I was just trying to put it together, something maybe, I don't know, I'll try to sing it, see if I can.
Yeah, I just made a little badge.
It's just something I just want to really appreciate, you know, Ammaji in our life and all our teachings. Om Guru Sev Guru Satchitananda. Om Guru Sev Guru Satchitananda. Yo Guru Adi Guru Gitananda. Yo Guru Adi Guru Gitananda. Yo Guru Siddha Guru Ammaji. Yo Guru Siddha Guru Ammaji. Ammaji Ananda Guru Satchitananda. Ammaji Ananda Guru Satchitananda. Satchitananda Guru Satchitananda. Satchitananda Guru Satchitananda. Om. Well, under Ammaji's and Swamiji, doctoral blessing, let's see if we can dive into this vast ocean of topic or the subject. And, you know, I really want to begin our concept, this principle of understanding relaxation, with just looking into how many ways or how many ideas yoga had. And this is a very little, I know if you want to dive deeper into it, yoga will offer us so many other teachings and understanding of our mind and all that we go through. And going through, you know, listening Ammaji's satsangs, realizing that our stress is not only physical, mental, or emotional. There is so much more bigger that goes on. We have the concept of Adi Vyadi or the Vyadi Adi, you know, the psychosomatic or somatopsychic. Then the concept of Avidya, Asmita, and Ahankara that creates its own ripple, or the distress or the disassociation with our own inner self. We have the concept of karma, samskara, all these vasanas, choices we make, the habit, the behavior patterns, desires, you know, either they can bring us back to this sense of ease within ourselves, or they just steal our life, steal our prana, and all that goes on. We also have the understanding of the janmas. So we have the genetics from the birth or our social, our family sort of inheritance that we carry. We have the concept of dvandvas, you know, the liking, disliking, the duality, the two opposites, pancha-kleshas, 9 obstacles. So it is quite amazing, you know. we're not going to go in detail of each one because we all know them very well. And hopefully we not only know them, we are trying to deal with them and find our way out of it. To me, really, that the true concept of the Gitananda, these relaxation practices, is how to pull ourselves out of these to bring ourselves into the Sukha Sthanam. Now, this is a really sort of image, you know, being with Dr. Nanda and feeling that bliss. And definitely, I would say, you know, coming out of that Adi, the mental distress or the mental conflicts and all that we go through, is one of his slides really, of how our mental stress, the mental agitation goes through different sort of polarizing into stressing our body, then stressing our pranic system. And it goes through all the way to manifesting or resulting into the physical health issues. So now let's begin a little bit, sort of really touching on to the different stresses that we carry. Now, I guess the first stress that we all carry or we hold on to is really the physical or the body stress. You can say the stress of your brain, stress of your muscles, stress of your digestive system for various reasons. And when we look at the list of what is causing that stress, is honestly is endless. It can as simple as, as I think one of the concept Swamiji mentions, this imbalance between our action, energy, and relaxation. So either we are overworking or we are underworking. So we have either not enough energy left or too much energy, and there is not enough relaxation. And I guess when you tap into this concept, then you might also bring easily the diet and all other aspects that is part of the energy. Also, we have the chronic mental illnesses or the mental tension lots of people carry from the family, society, or their expectations, their dreams, their visions. Life pressure that also builds quite a lot of physical tension, unhealthy lifestyle, over sensory stimulus. And I just put the dot there so you can keep really adding on to the list as far as you like. So many people I've known, they just totally burn out because they don't ever create even a little space to sit back and have a cup of tea. I see people running around with their mugs in their hand and drinking and eating food on the go, and just that the mental burnout that causing this physical burnout of the body. Now here, this is a really amazing practice that Deepika will take us through. So we will do a couple of practices to go all through. So this idea or this concept of the spanda nispanda in our Gitananda tradition, that is really one of the most profound principle or the concept of the Hatha and the Tantra we had. And I would say if the one thing that is truly missing in the modern yoga, this concept of spanda nispanda. People are like already so overburdened or overburdened with the life, and on top of that, they want to add more circus, more vigorous practices, and there is no space. So to me, landing into the ashram and understanding the idea that what you do is a very little part of your life, your exercise, your Hatha yoga practice, and what happens when you go away from it into relaxation, enhancing or empowering our parasympathetic, the healing or the relaxation response. So there is a great practice that hopefully Deepika will take us through.
Yeah, and also just to add, it's like we're just trying to slow down our life. And it's kind of, again, one of the key things that was revealed to me in ashram living. It's just like slowing everything down so we increase that awareness, and then we can see what we need to work on. So yeah, this spanda and nispanda. Now, obviously, in our Gitananda tradition, we like to take lots of time in all our practices, but especially relaxation. But here we obviously have a time limit, and I don't think you'd appreciate now Shavasana for the rest of the session. So I'm just doing like trailer of the movie type thing. So we just have a little glimpse, and obviously there's lots of videos that Dr. Ananda's put on YouTube where you could follow the full practice, but just some little insights. So this spanda nispanda. So hopefully you can all join in from your chair or lying down, just make yourself comfortable. And we'll just take a couple of deep breaths. And we're just going to tense and relax through the body from the feet, moving up to the head. So take a deep breath in, and now just squeeze through your toes and feet. And as you breathe out, just release and relax the toes and feet. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. And again, breathe in, squeeze now through the toes, feet, and up to the knee if you can. And then as you breathe out, just release, let go, let go. And now squeeze into your knees as you breathe in, tense through the knees. And breathe out and let go. I'm going to go up the thighs now. Breathe in and squeeze up to your hips. And breathe out, release. Lovely. Up through the back and chest. See if you can create some tension there on your in-breath. And breathe out, release. Shoulders and arms. Let's breathe in and just squeeze through arms, hands, shoulders. And let go. Lovely. Now face. No one's looking. Breathe in and squeeze and tense your face and head. Release. We don't care about looking silly, by the way. Now let's try and do the right side of our body. So right leg, right arm, right side. Breathe in and squeeze through the right side. And breathe out, release. Let go. Left side. Breathe in and squeeze. And let go. And now whole body. Put lots of effort in. Breathe in and squeeze and tense. 100% effort. And release. 100% relaxation. Completely let go. And just take a few breaths and just observe inside the body. So again, a very important concept. Our Gitananda tradition, we don't push, push, push and no relax. It's push, then relax. And it should be an equal balance there of our tension, relaxation. So another nice deep breath. Breathing out is your opportunity to let go the old. Every in-breath, you can breathe in a new creation of how you want to be. Okay, hand back to Nyandev.
It's great, thank you. Hope you're all feeling a little refreshed. It's quite a really, I think for me, if I need to charge my battery up and just detox my, especially the mind and the body, it's a quick sort of cleansing and the awakening or the charging up process of the practice. And I think what I have really understood from the Spanda practice, you see, our body has got such an amazing principle of what we call homeostasis. In a yogic terminology, I would like to use the word samatvam. We like to live in that equanimity where there is an opportunity, there is action, we like to get out and do something. And then once you perform that, you also naturally should have that need to come back to the state of ease or state of that comfort from within. If we are living in the chronic stress, tension, the burden of the life, either physical, mental, or emotional, or what our bodies does, then it gradually blocks out this relaxation response, and it just like to feel comfortable at that level. And it's something, in our yoga therapy lesson last time, Dr. Nanda was mentioning that how many people walking around with so many injuries and pain and sort of discomfort. And then suddenly you do a little bit of jatis with them shaking around and whooshing away and a bit of tension, nispanda. And after a good hour session, they're like, oh my God, I can feel my shoulders are aching, my back is aching. And it's almost like something so simple has given them pain. But it's not the practice has given us pain. It's practice made our brain to awake its own peripheral or the neuromuscular memory. So I believe, this Spanda relaxation is such an amazing way to reactivate not just the relaxation response, even developing that body awareness or the brain muscle or the brain cell communication. Let's come back to our lesson again, if you all like. So I guess as we talking about the physical stress or the physical tension, physical discomfort, then to me, one of the truly amazing and the subtlest of the principle, now and then I'd like to think in a very quantum and our neuroscience way of this amazing concept of Nara, where Swamiji talks about the Pancha-kosha misalignment, or when our 5 bodies, your physical body, your energy body, your mind body, your wisdom, and the bliss body, when these body get slightly misaligned and they're not tuned or attuned with it. And I kind of, looking at one of the Dr. Nanda's session last night on YouTube, in this misalignment, then we can also actually bring up so many other things that are affecting it, misalignment of our nadis, or maybe the Ida or the Pingla, one is overactive, one is underactive. We can also look at the disharmony or the underactivation, overactivation of the chakras, even the Panchamahabhuta, some of these amazing sort of principles to me collectively will fall under this subtlest of the idea. And more I think about it, really our physical body and our anatomical or the cellular body is in such an amazing continuous flow through between the cosmos and the individual, At Pinde, Tat Brahmande, Tat Brahmande, At Pinde. So the Brahmand, the universe becomes us, and then we becoming the universe. So there is this communion that is happening between the individual and the cosmic body. And for any reason, if this free flow, this free communication, I understand in my understanding, when that communication is disrupted for either or physical, mental, emotional, or the spiritual regions or spiritual blockages, then these two energies are misaligned. And I guess for me, if I really want to put it in my simple words, think of you are eating food, but your system is not digesting it. So it doesn't matter how amazing food somebody has given you, if you're not really digesting it and taking the nutrients, it's just basically no worth of the food eating. So to me, if you think that way, then this energy alignment of the Pancha-kosha we really understand is the universe is giving us the continuous food of the bliss, the energy, the prana, whatever term you want to use there. We're just not being able to digest or take our share that we like to take in it. Okay, so in this one, the couple of the sort of our typical concepts of Gitananda tradition worth to think or contemplate about it. Obviously, we're not going to go in each one of them, but the Pancha-kosha alignment, sort of thinking of them. Then we have the Nadi imbalance, sort of between the Ida, Pingala, Susumna. Our chakras also play quite a big role. Then the Panchabhut, the Asuddhi, when our earth, the water, the air, especially the water seems to be, the Jala is so misaligned. We all can be so clinically dehydrated. I think Dr. Nanda mentions that 60 to 70% people out there are clinically dehydrated. So we are just depleted of one of the major element that is part of the physical or body constitution. We are talking around like 70 to 72%. And then there are other, the fire and all that plays role. The swara imbalance also plays a huge role. Then the panch pranavayu, lots of people have the pranavayus are misaligned or they're not flowing as it should be. The dosa imbalance and the three guna imbalance. So these are some of the key principles that we can easily look under this concept in my understanding. Now, the good thing here, I know we can talk about these issues for so long, but thanks again, Swamiji and Ammaji do offer us some really simple solution, and I don't think I can bring simpler than that. So I might be wrong, but in my memory, I think I remember, like Ammaji talked many times, that Swamiji used to mention how the life will progress, and due to the all sorts of detox and stress and strain of life, also we have the electromagnetic toxicity that is growing every day, the 3G, 4G, 5G, all these TV channels, radio channels, the Wi-Fi that is there in everybody's house is continuously depleting or negatively, adversely affecting this pranic energy or the pranic field. And I understood, and this is something I experienced, that if we can do the Savitri rhythm pranayama every day, and I can tell you all, since I've been to ashram, there is one practice that I have never missed, regardless of where I am. Even if I'm traveling across the world on the flight, I will still do my Savitri rhythm pranayama. If life turns upside down, I will still follow my Savitri rhythm pranayama, and it does really pull you back into your body. And the way we're doing 6 in, 3 hold, 6 out, 3 hold, you can go to 8-4-8-4 if you like. It just calms our nervous system down, and then the Savitri, the solar or the biorhythms, through that it helps us to align or in tune our own biorhythms. And with that, if we can bring our Loma Viloma Prakriyas, either the set of Hatha Yoga practice or the pranayama and visualizations, we will be definitely, I trust Swamiji and I trust Ammaji, and it's something I experienced that if we can do one or other, we can really have a deep relaxation or come back to the Sukha Sthanam from deep within. So I would like Deepika to take us through maybe a couple of rounds of Savitri rhythm pranayama, please.
Yeah. So again, trailer of the movie. So Swamiji actually says if we practice our Savitri rhythm for 10 minutes, then it should definitely bring us into a deep state of relaxation. So I'd like to just do 9 rounds, because 9 is a complete cycle altogether. And I'll combine the Loma Viloma visualization.
Yes,
so just to describe first here, we're going to breathe in and visualize golden prana up the right side of our body. And as you breathe out, imagine the silvery apana, lunar energy down the left side. And we create a nice little circuit. So in, up the right side, golden prana, solar. Out, down the left side, silvery apana. So you can lie down if you've got the space, or sit, and we'll just practice together. So let's breathe out. Breathing in. Hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, golden prana, up the right side. Hold just beyond the head. Out, silvery apana, down the left side. And hold just beyond the feet. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In, golden prana up your right side. Hold. Out, silvery apana down the left side. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. And just relax, take a normal breath. When you practice your Savitri, as Nyandev said, you can always adjust according to breath capacity. So 6-3, working on that emotional level. But if it is too strenuous, you can drop down to a 4-2 or up to a 8-4, working a bit more on a physical level. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for that. I definitely feel like, ooh, good into the coming back to, such an amazing energy. And Swamiji recommend, if you are doing the Savitri rhythm pranayama or the Loma Viloma Prakriyas in Savasana, then we like to lie down with the head to the north and feet to the south, just to really actively align with the electromagnetic or the force of the earth. So we become one with our own individual and the cosmic energies. And it's just another thing I remember here, Swamiji mentions about this state of being at ease or the optimum health. The swasthya really means our optimum polarity. And when we lose that polarity, when this polarity sort of gets out of the harmony or disharmonized, that means the distress of your body, your mind, or the health issues. And then a total depolarization means death, means the life, the prana has gone. So make sure you keep bringing the prana and the polarization back where it should be. And it's something I really recommend if you do live in a place where you have to deal with so much of the modern electromagnetic pollution and nothing much you can do. Well, there is one thing you can do, as Swamiji says. So there you go. Thanks to Deepika to take us through that. So now, from the subtle energy, we are really moving into our mental clutter and stress. And this was the word that Deepika's sort of invention really last night. We were talking about it and she's like, oh, let's just put it mental clutter instead of saying Chitvartij, because Patanjali Chitvartij, it's sort of like it can be positive, negative. As we talk about the stress, we really talking about all that stresses or the mental clutter that we constantly going through, agitating our mental or the emotional well-being. And I just picked up, the three of the concepts that, we talk or we understand so much very well through the yoga. This concept of Chitvartij. So the 5 different sources from our thoughts and all this mental clutter that comes from our direct cognition, sort of, I guess it really depends, isn't it? What you're looking at, what you're hearing, what you're listening. If you are hearing good things, if you tap into Dr. Nanda's YouTube channel, you're going to feel connected with the great thing. And then there are all sorts of nonsense out there on the same YouTube channel by other people. So the source of your direct cognition, where the information is coming on, then we have the vipriya, the incorrect or the inappropriate knowledge, seeing what is not real or what is not truth. And I think this comes quite a lot in our life, really, whenever we caught up in our own mental dilemma or the ego or the asmita, where I don't want to see anybody else. It's just everything has to be my way. And when we caught up in my way, doesn't matter what people say. Even somebody brings a flower to you, that can be annoying. Why did you bring me a flower? What do you want? What's your intention? And then we have this imagination, just the pure vikalpa, where there is no base, no foundation. The state of sleep, where we are actually missing out our information or the cognition that is going through. And then bringing up all the old information or the old things we have stored. You can add a bit more fire to it with the pancha-kleshas, the avidya, the ignorance. Or I love actually every time we talk about avidya, way Ammaji said many, many times, it's actually avidya is not simply not knowing, because if you don't really know, then it's not really your fault. And I loved many times he reminded us that avidya in a true sense of Patanjali would be more something like something that is right for you to do, or something you should not be doing, and you're still doing it. So it literally means you are ignoring the truth or the reality that is already there. If you know there is a food that is going to cause upset tummy and you're still eating it. If you know you're going to go and listen or read something and it's going to stress you out, but still ignoring that, I'm just going to do it because I want to do it. We have the asmita, this concept or the principle of egoism, again causes so much mental stress. Raga and dvesa, the cravings or the likings and the disliking, aversion. And then the abhinivesa, this whole principle that we all carry on clinging onto things. And this is another amazing thing. A couple of days ago, I think I was listening one of the Dr. Nanda's session, and how much we actually cling to the stress, how much we cling to the problems, pain, discomfort, my blood pressure, my heart problem, my tension, my depression. I can only breathe out for that. So this abhinivesa, it causes actually, we get addicted, or we just somehow it almost feel like we like to live in that tension, we like to live in that pain or the problem. And then the 9 obstacles, because all those 9 obstacles, they have their own sort of pattern of stress or the distress that comes in. I'm not going to go into the list of them. I'm sure you all already know it. So let me bring us to really again what Ammaji, and this is again sort of my conclusion of a couple of really basic things that over the year that Ammaji has taught us in these amazing teachings and the courses. The first concept I always loved is the concept of abhyasa vairagya. So the practice and detachment, do something about it. Don't just muddle into it. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you are caught up in some sort of mental chitvritti, do something about it. Even if nothing else you can think, just get out of the house and go for a long walk, get some fresh air. Or go and see somebody, talk to somebody, or listen some positive thoughts, positive ideas. So do something about it to move yourself out from that muddled state. And then the detachment, disassociating. To me, that's something, I listen to Dr. Nanda quite a lot. And the way he talks, well, some people actually do something to get into the relaxation, and the minute the relaxation finishes, they want to talk about the same thing again. Back to the same square, my problem, my pain, my issues, my conflict, my ego. Well, we do something about things, and with the application, then the second important application is disassociation, actually letting go, actually moving away from it, actually just getting away from these things. The second tool, I honestly like listening Ammaji many times about obstacles and all these things, is something I would have never really thought until I came there. There's this true four practices, the four principles of Patanjali: the Maitri, the friendliness; Karuna, the compassion; Mudita, the cheerfulness; and Upeksha, the equanimity. And I love the phrase that is written on the door of the ashram: enter in only if you are happy. And it is a truly practice. So to me, when I think of that, that is actually the summary of these four practices. Every time you're going in to connect with yourself, make sure you are creating that intention. And I think a couple of days ago, I was listening another one of Dr. Nanda. He said, even if you are pretending and pretend smiling, that's healthier than being seriously miserable. So even if you have to create a drama, and in Indian language, we call it notanki. Even if you have to do the notanki to be happy and be smileful and cheer yourself up, I would say, do it. And then the concept of Maitri, this friendliness, this is connectedness with ourselves. And even I find it, so easy to actually forgive and move away from the life events where somebody else is involved in it. How many times we forgive and come at ease within ourselves. So many of us, we love beating ourselves up. We love being harsh on ourselves, torture constant. So this is a truly concept of be friend, be kind, compassionate, try to always be cheerful and live in the equanimity. The concept of yamaj and niyamaj, I'm quite happy to say, before that, it used to be more like you listening or learning a philosophical principle and you remember it to pass your exam. But over the years, listening Ammaji again and again, honestly, I realized that these are to me the true virtuous practices, virtuous living. If you ever feel you want to come at the mental Sukha Sthanam, Mana Sukha Sthanam, if you want to come at that ease deep within your mind, your mind self, there is no any other way than following the yamas and niyamas, the appropriate living, the virtuous living the right life with the right mindset, right attitude, in the right situation, the right place. And then my favorite mantra from ashram, from Swamiji, Dr. Nandan, Ammaji, always reminding ourselves, do your best and leave the rest.
And make sure it is your 100% best.
You are doing your best.
Then only you're allowed to go, okay, I did my best.
Well, three practices me and Deepika picked here just to mention you. We have the Kaya Kriya, really helps to release these mental and emotional agitations and tension. We have the Moksha Kriya and the Nadi Jnana Kriya. So
yeah, I mean, I think most of these really are best done in like the full Shavasana and really taking time over, but we just wanted to mention them. We can do a Pancha-kosha cleanse, which is just another one that Ammaji used to just do all the time. So if you haven't done it already, we're just going to have a clean up of our space. So just gathering up, cleaning up any tension, any tiredness, any clutter, any negative thoughts, stagnant energy. Just imagine you're gathering and cleaning up your space. Then you take a deep in-breath and grab hold of it, and we're going to whoosh it out. And we're going to do another round.
Let's everyone try to join in.
Let's see those hands moving. Clean, cleanse. Put your effort into it. Lovely. Deep breath in. Let's catch hold and whoosh out. And just feel that freedom, release, let go. Deep breath. Always just taking a moment to reflect inside the body. And then gradually you train yourself to realize all these freeing, opening, releasing techniques. You can keep using them.
Okay, that was great. Thank you very much. Distressing everyone, hopefully feeling a bit of clarity of our mental clutter. Well, I think to me, this is actually quite interesting one, really, as you know, sort of this is my recent addition to look at another distress that we cause to our system, our body, mind, and spirit. This is the stress that we carry with our buddhi, our intelligence. Now, the intelligence can be understood as our mundane intelligence, all the things we know, things we learned, and then the adhyatmic or the spiritual stress or the spiritual stressors. This is quite a lot of them that we carry with ourselves, really. You know, I've seen there is so many people can easily be caught up into this ego of the intelligence, that everything I know is always right, everything else everybody knows is always wrong, the my way, and there is no any other way. People can so easily get caught into it, or the inability to understand the other's perspective. You know, it's just like, I think, Dr. If I remember right, it's the maladjustment syndrome. So when we cannot adjust with other people and we cannot cope with somebody else saying something or somebody else sharing their experience or perspective, the religious egocentric beliefs that my religion is better than yours, you know, or some people can be so anti one way or the anti other way. This new stress that is being added up into our life, you know, in last sort of, I don't know, 10, 15 years. This is actually maybe longer. It has existed longer than I have realized. But in last couple of months, it came through quite a lot through different people to me back, and sort of made me quite aware this conspiracy theories of all the anti-government, anti-people, anti-religion, anti-God, anti-this, anti-that. You know, some of them can be as bad as that Donald Trump is one of the true spiritual guy, and he's trying to switch the whole world back into the absolute consciousness. And honestly, the amount of stress people carry around, though these stupid, or I don't know if they're true or not, but for me, this sounds like really stupid to think that. But the stress they cause on themselves and then the other people. Then we also have the lack of faith, or the sort of, you know, the lack of this Ishwar Prasadhanam or the Ishwar Pranidhana in life, where we don't really have any sort of faith or the belief system. Another we can add here is the cultural appropriation, especially around the spiritual practices. Because in that one, there is so much ego involved, and there's a lie, there is a manipulation. And I do find, you know, there's quite a few yoga teachers I know, they are teaching yoga and teaching it to like totally removing that cultural relation, the appropriation, the teachings and the wisdom, the roots that are there. And I've never come across any of them at that sense of ease or the sense of inner happiness or feeling so joyful. Like, I teach yoga, I love it, I'm so joyful. There always seems to be some kind of underlying anger or something that builds up. And I believe it's definitely something has to do with mixing up some of these pure potential practices and ideas with the new thought or the new principles, and anything we mess around, well, it is going to cause a serious mess or the serious disruption really from the body.
And also that I love that Dr. Anand explains it like taking a fish out of water, like the connection to a paramparai is just like, I think it really is the only way to truly sort of experience and understand yoga. And I think that's it. If you take the fish out, it's just like a dead fish and you can examine it and it's not going to move, and you can put it in a box, but it's not alive.
Okay, well, again, you know, the whole Gitananda tradition, the practices, the teachings, you know, we do have that such a sincere effort, such a sincere practice and teachings, pure teachings on the how to use the applications of these truly amazing yogic practices, the yogic ideas or the wisdom, to come back to Sukha Sthanam. And I know this list, it can go on and on if we start to talk about, you know, the Ammaji and Dr. Nanda and Swamiji's teachings. But I thought we mentioned a few bullet points really for us all to create that inner connection. To me, this is you finding the way to come at this Sukha Sthanam with your spirit, or you connecting with the Anandmaya and the Vijnanamaya kosa. The Jnana Yoga is a true path. With that you can also add the Raj Yoga or the Stanga Yoga, where we are learning these true principles of yoga, or the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding of our Atman, or even simply knowing really what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, what is reality, what is not reality. Self-inquiry, koham. To me, this is one of the most humble practice I have understood from Ammaji, really, because before I came to ashram, and I have to share these ones with you all, okay? See, I used to, because in the Upanishadic scripture, there is a practice, koham, and then soham, and noham. It's easy to jump into the conclusion, is it? Like thinking, okay, yoga teaches, who am I? I am the divine, auspicious Shiva spirit. But once you start to listen the true teachings, some of the Ammaji satsang on this, I realized, well, how much crap in there. And to get to actually connect with the Soham, you have to walk through each step. So to come at the Sukha Sthanam, think of all these thorns that we are stuck in our body from feet to toes. You have to pick each one of them. And this is what the self-inquiry is, knowing our own self, from the body, mind, all our associations, our ego, intelligence, skills, and then through that we can refine ourselves to actually connect with the divine self. Truly amazing concept of four-fold awareness from Swamiji, and I should have added here five-fold awareness from Ammaji. This truly amazing concept, because another way to go through our own realization of who am I, and in that process, hopefully we can use the concept, the principle of Swadhyaya to change or to make the changes that we need to do to come at that appropriate or the swasth being or the sukhi, the sukh anandam, so you can access to that. The concept of Iswar Prasadana is another one. In Yoga Sutras, we look at it as a Iswar Pranidhana, surrendering to the divine. I guess for me, learning the whole new idea of the practice as a Iswar Prasadanam, seeing our life events, and each and everything we do from this divine eye, the divine perspective. Your life is a truly divine blessing. If you are trying to live it consciously, mindfully, obviously, if we not, then we know what happens. We're just messing up this divine blessing or the divine opportunity. The concept of niskam karma, doing our actions, fulfilling our duties, and all of that without seeking for the fruit. So it's just like, looking at a bigger perspective of life and life events. And I think like around here now in UK, we have got this whole new social prescription. Even the doctors or the health people, health professionals recommend like, go and work in a charity shop or do some service. There is a community group. So actually going out and doing something selflessly without the reason or the fruit or the desire, it helps people to create really this healthy connection with the cosmic or the wisdom and the blissful body. And then the couple of last ones worth to mention, the Shraddha, the faith. You got to really develop this amazing principle of having faith in yourself, faith in the teachings, the guru, the practices or the tools somebody is giving you. Someone can tell you like, okay, I'm going to teach you to relax, lie down straight and breathe in and breathe out. If you not really be even comfortable, you don't have the trust in the person who is teaching you, who is guiding you, you're going to wake up feeling more stressed or more anxious. The faith in yourself, the faith in the divine or the wisdom. Kartagyata, this concept, the principle of gratitude. I would definitely say this is one of the key to come back to the comfort, because to express the gratitude or to develop this humble expression of kartagyata is a way to recognize, because we're not even recognizing things, what we have been given, what we have been blessed. We're just living like, oh, I'm just doing a favor to everybody because somebody invited me to do this, or somebody has given me food and I'm eating it and I'm doing a favor to that person. I even heard from people, oh, I will let you be blessed and bless you with eating your food or taking something, you're giving them. So this gratitude really comes from deep within, when you can see what you're receiving. And you know, when we can see what we're receiving, it does bring us to that inner calmness, inner peace. Do you feel, I'm so lucky? And you know, to me, if nothing works for you, worth to find a way to develop this attitude of feeling lucky or feeling blessed. And then the sadhana, following the spiritual path. The mantra chanting and the Guru Seva are the another one. And I'll stop here, I guess, if you have anything to add or share.
I think that's...
Otherwise, I think we've taken enough time, I believe.
Yeah, is that the end of our slide? Yeah.
So we just got, yeah, come on.
Yeah, just obviously there's just kind of keys to unpick and open, and as we said before, there's like a wealth of knowledge there with in the tradition, with Dr. Ananda, the courses there. And again, we've learned so much as well working with him, Dr. Ananda doing the yoga therapy course over the last year. So thanks all for joining. We'll stop the share and hand back.
Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful your presentation on relaxation, and it's really relaxing that we didn't know that the time has passed so early, and we were thinking that it should go on. And thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful wisdom of Gitananda Yoga tradition. And without taking much of the time today, I have the opportunity to call Devasena ma'am to come on and say a few words. And we will, if anyone have some questions, you can type down in the chat box, and we'll take it after ma'am will say some words. Ma'am.
Namaste, namaste, pranam.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. This is a wonderful section. We know it's going to be a wonderful section. There's no doubt. And of course, our Gitananda Parampara teaches all or everyone, each and everyone, the speciality in them. And of course, our Deepika, Jnanadev, it's a very good couple, and they're doing very well in all their activities. And I mean, having the ashram and doing, that's not easy thing. Building the new thing, whatever we have already, that even to maintain that, to take that, it's very difficult. So on top, they are building the new one and going on that. So it's very great thing what they are doing. And the yoga courses, they are giving different courses. And Deepika used to sing nicely. So I hope they have the bhajan section also going on. I always used to think when Deepika sings, oh, very easily she catch the songs and sing very nicely. And of course, Jnanadev, I heard that he makes very tasty food, and also people are going to enjoy in the ashram. Ammaji says, if you like to eat and if you like to sing, then you can easily enjoy, I mean, be in the ashram very easily, you can manage. Because it's very intensive course when they are here in the ashram for 6 months, even though they are preparing with Ammaji nearly 1 year. And but still they have like a basic thing only. So all the like other higher cleansing, higher pranayamas, everything they're facing here. On top, they're with the new, most of them with the new culture, new place, new language, everything is new. Not only the atmosphere, everything is new. So when they're coming, like they are really facing each other every day, morning to, from Brahma Muhurta to night, going to the bed, they will be facing, I mean, each other quite often. They're just next to each other. It's very intensive. So like to have the people and taking care of them, and plus they have to go with the 3 murtis. They have 3 boys also. It's nice actually, like a 3 murtis they have. So it's not easy thing they are doing. And I heard new book also going on Jnanadev and the Pancha-kosha. I was looking when doctors checking that. So congratulations for all your activities, and doing very well, going very well with Ammaji and Swamiji's blessing. You will do very better always. And so please ask your three murtis to ask Anandraj the taekwondo class also, so that he have the touch to start teaching, because he was doing for last lockdown. Then after that, we thought he will be going to continuously giving like class like that for every week for some of them. But then he just stopped totally that idea. Then he is not doing. So then I heard that he is doing with your 3 boys, 3 sons. So I thought it will be very nice for him to. So he had the touch to give the practice for others, so that he had the doing something also for him that will be very much satisfaction and give the happiness also for him, because his concentration, everything is like in the taekwondo now more than the yoga and other things. So thank you so much for your sadhana, doing very well, going very well, making them, taking the message, Gita and Ashrams, our Swamiji's message, teachings, Ammaji's teachings, going everywhere and helping Dr. Sir also in any way and in many ways. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity also, Nilachal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
So you have to listen. This is something I need to tell you, okay? Because
Yes,
it's very
please.
interesting that I'm seeing you. And last night I was talking about you and sharing the story of you and me when I was in the ashram last time. So there was, he's my guru of the bhajans and all this singing. And this is around the Shivratri, everyone is just singing, and then the whole group of the students sitting there, and Devasna has got the mic and she's leading Parama Pavana. And this is my least favorite bhajan. I would never sing. And then she's like, okay, Yanda, your turn. Devasna, Yanda. And then it comes to the middle of it. She hands the mic to me and walks away and disappeared. I think I'm really grateful for that moment, because since then I really got the confidence of my voice and singing. So that's why I was telling them, everyone, like how the guru sees, this is the time you got to throw this child into the ocean and let them deal with it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there is a question come up in the chat box that Kritagyata Yogacharya ma'am wants to hear more about the Kritagyata and Guru Seva.
Yeah, that's a really nice one actually, because to me, this is Kritagyata is really, sort of this gratitude or the humble attitude of expressing ourselves, expressing that how much we're receiving, and it's something I believe so many of us don't really have that anymore, because we live in such a consumer world. Most of us think, oh, I paid and I got it. Actually, when it comes to some of these true teachings, some of this true abundance, if you really want to go deep within yourself, we have to develop this humble attitude of not only knowing that I'm grateful about it, but actually expressing it, putting it out loud. So that leads us to the second term. We have the Guru Seva. Now, what I have understood from Ammaji and Swamiji and some of the other sort of these typical ancient Hindu system of the Guru and the disciple or the student, the Guru-Chela relationship. The Guru Seva has a couple of different elements. So the first one is what your Guru or your teacher, the teachings that has been given to you, you follow them sincerely. So that is the first Seva, the teachings that you have been blessed with, you have been given, you are receiving them and you are following them. Then the second thing, as we, or to me, I understood always, you see the ashram or the Guru is really a source or the instrument or the medium of the teachings. And it's the students or the chelas or the followers, those are the one actually make or create the ashram. So to me, the Guru Seva is supporting the system, supporting the ashram, supporting our gurus, our teachers. So without being burdened with the much of the worldly life, they can be free to offer their teachings. So it is, in every form, you can see the Guru Seva in form of maybe money, in form of the Karma Yoga, in form of, this is a great event really. I can say this is a really great example of Guru Seva, that you're offering your service to the teachings, to the Guru, to the lineage, to create this amazing platform where the teachings can go out into the bigger world.
And it's something as well, it's actually a two-way process, it feels like, because for me, I feel like the teachings are so priceless. And I think it made such a big change for me going through the 6-month course and then back many times. That actually, I feel like there's no way I can ever really, I don't know how I could manage to give back equally, because it just made such a huge positive effect on my life. But if ever I can do something, I just feel like oh, I'm like making the exchange a bit fairer. It's just like it feels so good to be able to offer the service to the gurus. It's such a blessing actually to be able to do that as well, to have the opportunity to give back to the parampara. It feels like such a pure blessing to be able to do.
And I think for me, like when I'm in the ashram, for me, the Guru Seva can be every little thing I can do. Maybe if I'm walking past and see the floor need to be quickly swept, or it's the time for Dr. Nanda or Ammaji to have a cup of tea. You know, I love taking over those little things. So it's the Guru Seva, you know, it doesn't have to be something very huge. It's just finding every possible way to appreciate the Guru, the teachings. And I see actually this Guru Seva concept more selfish, if I be honest with you, and I'm quite happy to admit, because to me, the way I always say it, if I can serve my Guru and look after my Guru, either Ammaji or Devas now Dr. Nanda, well, they will be so comfortable, full of energy, full of vitality to offer their teachings. Otherwise, if my teacher is worried about like, oh, when do I get tea? When do I get my biscuit? When do I get my food? Well, their energy is being dispersed. So you can see the totally different perspective around the Guru Seva, that you are doing everything to facilitate yourself for the Guru to just come and teach. Basically, there is nothing else to be thought about. So it's truly one of the amazing concept, and it helps to also, you know, bring our ego down and help to develop that mental clarity and really taking the blessing.
The gratitude, as Ananda said, gratitude is the highest attitude.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for explaining those words. And there is a question regarding the Lom Vilom Pranayama, and sir has shared the link, and you can follow that link, and it will be more clear because it is explained in more detail. And it is like in the pranayama session also, we learned that each pranayama will take almost a long detailing of the whole process. So this is just glimpses of all the practices. So you can follow the link that is shared in the chat box. And now I'd like to call upon Dr. Ananda sir to say a few words. Respected sir.
First of all, thank you, Jnanadev and Deepika, for that most amazing session. I learned a lot today, so that's good. You know, the way you have brought in multiple levels of the stressor that is making us a piecemeal mess. We are a piecemeal mess because of all the stresses at so many levels. And my favorite topic, of course, these days, in fact, 1 hour later, I'm giving a talk on culturally appropriate yoga for an American Indian group who are doing yoga aid. And I'm pleased that I find my name next to Deepak Chopra. So that's the first time I find my name next to him. So it was quite funny actually to say that. And you brought a beautiful point there. When people are practicing culturally inappropriate yoga and misappropriating it, they cannot be at ease with themselves. And I think this is a very valid point you brought in. So thank you for opening my mind to that, because when you know that you are using something, or rather misusing it, even if you are trying to justify it, you're not going to be at ease with yourself. It is like, you know, when we find a $10 note on the road and we put it in our pocket, even if nobody has seen us, even if nobody else knows, we are not at ease with ourselves because we know that money did not belong to us. And I think it is very important to realize that many of these conscience pricking moments lead to a lot of stress, even if we sort of push it out of the way. So thank you for bringing in those concepts. And I loved your version for Ammaji at the beginning. You should record and send it. I'll play it for her. She will enjoy it. And the other concept which came out here very beautifully, which I would like to point out, is the way a beautiful husband-wife team can work to share the teachings together. Now, it's not always easy, okay? It's never going to be easy, because I have seen Ammaji and Swamiji work together, and it was never easy. It was never, all that Sukha Sthanam and all that beauty and butterflies and roses. It's not going to be that, okay? So I know that. But at the same time, the fact that through the sharing of the yoga, jnana and vijnana, that you are able to come together in the same space for the same purpose, and your hearts can work together. I think this is the gift of yoga, when people come together in yoga as families. So it's beautiful to see that. And this is something that the Gitananda tradition places great importance. It is not yoga out of context. It is not yoga in the cave. It's yoga wherever you are. Because wherever you are, every breath is an opportunity for yoga to manifest. And I loved your point on Guru Seva, because Guru Seva is another relaxation technique. Because when you enable the Guru to be relaxed, the teachings will be seamlessly, they will flow. So as you said, there's a bit of selfishness in it in another way, because if the Guru has to think, oh, I have to go and boil my coffee, and I have to sit down and get my computer working, which is something more and more I'm starting to think about. The other day I told a couple of my students, I said, I just wish, somebody would take care of everything. I just have to teach. That would be for me the best place to be. Just teach, share and teach, that's all. Because when you have to think about, okay, what's for breakfast today? What do we have to buy for today? And who's coming to the ashram this week? And which lessons are being done? What happens is you feel your energy is being dissipated. But then Swamiji has said that's also part of your yoga life. That's also part of you working out all that which you need to work out. So you cannot escape it. The importance of relaxation. Without relaxation, there cannot be healing. And the other day, my beloved mentor, Sethu Raman sir, said, we in the medical profession are focused on curing. We want to cure everybody. But we forget that curing is only one aspect. And then people are cured but not healed. Because healing is when the person again becomes whole. The person needs to feel a sense of wholesomeness. That is when healing has occurred. Curing is just you have removed the tumor, you have, given an antibiotic for the infection, but have you enabled the person to heal? And if healing is to occur, we need to have relaxation. And the innumerable relaxation techniques of this tradition, the Jnana Yoga Kriyas, the Jnana Yoga Prakriyas, I've shared a link in the chat box explaining the background, how these work. They work right down at your subcellular level, ionic levels, cation, anion level, that's where they are working. They are working down at your electron, proton levels and creating a sense of balance. Because the state of balance is where relaxation ultimately is. I would just like to address a question which I think Ingan has asked. What is the distinction between adjusting to the context and cultural misappropriation? Adjusting to the context, for me, is a valid aspect of taking a teaching when you need to share it with people in a way that they can understand it. So I feel that putting something in context is always good. But at the same time, you cannot say that's what it is. So I think my issue is people trying to explain. I'll give a simple example. You want to teach Natarajasana, my favorite topic of discussion these days. Natarajasana you want to teach. So if you go into the class and you say, we are all going to do Natarajasana, they're like, what's that? So what do? You say, okay, fine. Nataraja is the concept of the dancing Shiva, and it is this auspiciousness. But just so that you understand what it is, let us consider dance is dynamic motion. Dynamic motion, which is transformation. And the only constant is change and transformation. So this is a process, an asana, where we are trying to attune ourselves to the transformational energies of the universe. So now, even if you are not using the word Nataraja, you have kept the concept of Nataraja alive through your explanation. But if we say this is the dancer pose and we stop there, what has happened is it has been taken out of context. And so the dancer pose, the person never gets the idea of transformation. They never get the idea of the dance of the subatomic particles, the quantum physics that is brought out with Nataraja. So I think what we need to do is keep the essence and translate the essence into terminology the people will understand, so that the essence is kept alive. And this is why whether people call me Dr. Ananda, or my son calls me Appa, or somebody calls me doctor, or my kids call me Dr. Sir at Yoganjali, or somebody says Bala, or nowadays everybody loves this Guruji, which sounds very funny to me, but anyway, it is your love. So when you're calling me that, I am the same Ananda. The essence is the same. It is being perceived and expressed by different people according to their context of understanding. But if now somebody starts to call me a dirty dog, now that is definitely misappropriation. If somebody says, you swine, I'm sorry for swearing, but I really want to go to the extremes. If somebody goes to that and they say, oh, you quack, then definitely it is misappropriation and it is insulting, because you have taken the essence away and you have put it into a totally divergent mode. So I think this is a conversation I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying this conversation because I believe that we need to find common ground. And gratitude is the highest attitude. I have said that 20 times in the past week on different talks. Because when you have gratitude, you are naturally relaxed. Gratitude is an attitude that enables you to go into the relaxation response, because suddenly you realize all that you have been given. And so there's no tension. But if you don't have gratitude, I have not been given enough. I paid this much, I only got that. I did this and didn't get rewarded. You know, what is happening is you are stressing yourself out. Ingratitude stresses you. Gratitude relaxes you. And that is why gratitude is where you have opened yourself up and suddenly you realize you are not the big cheese. And in that moment, you realize what you have been given by the universe, a human birth, an opportunity to learn and share, an opportunity to love and support others. And suddenly you are relaxed. And so your action becomes an action of relaxed action, which is the key to karmasu kaushalam, or skill in action. You cannot be skillful in your action if you are stressed. You ask any sports person, the best throw they will do, the best bullseye they will hit will be when they are in optimal state of relaxation. Because if they are stressed, either they will jump before the mark or they'll jump after the mark and make it a foul. And this is where gratitude is an attitude of relaxation. So I really love it, and love the fact that Jnanadev has a Sanskrit term for it also. I think this is important. We find these different language terms to express it. And I must point out here, in the Yaksha Prasna of the Mahabharata, Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, people say, oh, Mahabharata and Ramayana are not yogic scriptures. I'm like, you people haven't read it in the proper way. You haven't read it in the proper way. If you read Ramayana and Mahabharata with the proper perspective, they are yogic scriptures of the highest order. The manifestation of what is Dharma is brought out in the Ramayana perfectly. And Yudhishthira has asked a question. What is the biggest or greatest sin? What is the greatest sin? He doesn't say stealing, killing, robbing, raping. No, he doesn't say that. He says ingratitude. Ingratitude is the biggest sin. Why he said that? Because when you are not grateful, you are pulling yourself down into your own hell. Heaven and hell lie within us. And when we go into ingratitude mode, we go into hell. The more you have gratitude, the more you rise into the heavens that are within you. I think I will stop there today, because what a beautiful presentation, Jnanadev and Deepika. The past year, I have been sort of mentoring them for a yoga therapy program they have been running. And every month I've been giving them, the first Sunday of every month, I've been giving a 2.5 hour session, and been a wonderful journey. And if somebody in the UK and Europe, in that area especially, you want a good yoga therapy program, highly recommend their program. They have done an amazing job of putting it together. And again, Jnanadev has been bitten by the publishing bug. There's a bug called the publishing bug, and I have been bitten by that. Okay, so I know what it feels like. And the latest book he's putting out on the Pancha-kosha is an amazing compilation, bringing it down right into the practices. We talk about the Pancha-kosha, the 5 great elements. How do they come into your yoga practice, yoga sadhana? So congratulations on this. And I must express my gratitude to Nilachal, because you have really given us all a stage to have these sessions, and it's giving me more and more confidence that I don't have to carry the load totally, that I have all these beautiful team members to carry the load for me and share the load, giving me the freedom to express myself in a different way. So thank you, and all the participants, even those who don't have your videos on. Even those who don't have your videos on, thank you to you. You know, my perspective on videos, I love to have people's videos on to know who's there on the other side. Okay. And I know people, as I've always said, if you are in a compromised situation, then keep the video off. But otherwise, there's no excuse. I have been in a couple of medical conferences recently, and no one has the video on. I'm the only one with the video on. I might as well have been talking to myself. Why even address a conference when everybody has the videos? And I'm like, seriously, it's like you go into a class and there's no student there and you have to give a 1 hour class. Anyway, so thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nanda. And for us, it's really been like a great opportunity and blessing to do this session, because it kind of also gave me and Deepika to revisit our sort of nearly, a couple of years being under Ammaji. And I don't know how I express it, but, I'm just always so grateful really for every session that I've been under Ammaji's guidance and all the teachings. And I don't think I would have been a teacher or the person I am without all the teachings she has given. And then on the second part of my journey, really, I'm grateful for your mentorship, that taking it to the next direction, because I think with Ammaji, I was more into the holistic, the mysticism, and I enjoyed that side. But actually coming under you now, also I'm tapping into the science and the sort of understanding the application for everybody. So really grateful for everything.
Yeah, everything with your blessings, or thanks to your blessings.
Thank you so much, sir, and Gyandev sir and Deepika ma'am for today's session. And the journey has started, and I think a lot of more is coming. And I would like to thank Live Holistic Wellness and all the members of the Live Holistic team. I would like to thank all the members who are at the backstage: Kailash sir, Payal, Hari Shankar, Mamta, Preeti, Ved, Prakash, and all those who are contributing their very essential part. Without those technicalities that we don't know, it wouldn't have been happening right now. So thank you to all the team members of Live Holistic or Wellness. And there were some questions regarding the links that are being shared in the chat box and the questions that have been asked. So we are sharing the links and all the references that sir has shared, and we are also compiling all the references. And if you're not getting the links through your mail, you can just write in the feedback form, and we will share you instantly. And for tomorrow, and regarding all these sessions, if you are not able to, if you have not attended the other sessions, you can visit to the YouTube link of the Live Holistic Wellness, and there you can find all the videos from the day one, from where we started until now. And we can also visit the website there, and you can explore more of the contents. And apart from that, tomorrow's session. So tomorrow there will be a holiday, as if you can say that, for this a long day of journey, and we have been given so much of input, and we need to just digest it. So there will be no session tomorrow, and it will be, the next session will be on Monday, and that will be a very important session of Dr. Balaji sir, and he will be taking the session on yoga therapy, the curative, preventive, and supportive aspects of yoga. So therefore, you all are invited to that session, and all you're invited to all to that session. And on the next day, we will concluding with Dr. Ananda sir, and a lot more, I think, maybe coming up after that also. So we will be concluding here with the Shanti part. So all join your palms, hands together. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यां परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Thank you all for joining today's session. We will all meet on Monday at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time, IST. So see you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.